There is a specific kind of silence that happens just before a major collapse, a quiet before the storm, that only those with a high-level clearance can detect. If you've been feeling an inexplicable tension in the air, a sense that the walls of your old reality are thinning, it's because you've triggered a level 4 security breach in the collective status quo. You aren't just waking up, you are becoming a high-value target to the forces of mediocrity. For years, you played the part of the background character, the one who followed the rules, the one whose data file was predictable and safe. But recently, you accessed a piece of classified intelligence within your own soul. You realized that the limitations you were told were laws of nature are actually just terms of service that you never agreed to sign. The moment you stopped seeking validation from the agency, that invisible committee of social expectations, toxic family cycles, and the pressure to conform, you became a blip on their radar. Imagine a dark, subterranean command center where the elite, the archetypes of control, monitor the human frequency. For decades, your screen was green, steady, and boring. But now, it's flashing a rhythmic, pulsing red. They are leaning in, checking the surveillance footage of your life, trying to figure out which witness spoke to you. Who told you that you were powerful? Who leaked the evidence of your true capacity? They are terrified because an awakened individual is the only thing their algorithm cannot predict. They can account for anger, they can account for fear, and they can certainly account for greed. But they have no protocol for a person who has attained absolute moral clarity. This is the diagnosis of your current situation. You feel watched because you are being watched, not by men in black suits, but by the very fabric of an old reality that is desperate to keep you in maintenance mode. That intuition that told you the world was a fixed game wasn't a glitch, it was a leaked report from your higher self. They want to stop him now, or stop her now, because if you realize that your internal state dictates the public record of your life, their settlement offers will no longer work on you. You've moved from being a subject to being the lead investigator. You are now the one conducting the surveillance on the system. You are noticing the cracks in their broadcast. You are seeing the desperation in the news cycle of your old fears. Think of those classic noir thrillers where the protagonist finds the microfilm hidden in a hollowed-out book. That microfilm is your intuition. It contains the source code for a life of high-stakes vindication. The authorities of your past, the voices that told you to stay in your lane, are currently in an emergency session in the Oval Office of your mind. They are debating how to contain you. They might try to send agents of doubt or surveillance distractions to pull you back into the algorithm of lack. But it's too late. The file has already been copied. The truth has already been uploaded to the global consciousness. You aren't just a person anymore. You are a walking breach. This isn't just about personal growth. It's about a global hostile takeover of your own destiny. The elite are terrified because you've stopped looking for settlements and started demanding restitution. You've realized that you are the headline and the world is just the printing press. Every time you choose peace over panic, you are jamming their signal. Every time you act from a place of sovereign authority, you are dumping the data of their control. Stay with this briefing until the very end, because the final verdict isn't just a victory, it's a coronation that the agency tried to prevent for a lifetime. If you suspect the system is panicking because they can no longer track your frequency, you need to leave a mark on the public record. This is your first act of digital defiance. Comment "Case closed" right now to signal to the algorithm that you've already won the war for your mind. Let them watch you claim your power. The most dangerous weapon in any intelligence operative's arsenal isn't a high-caliber rifle or a sophisticated piece of malware. It's the ability to be completely overlooked. For a long time, the elite, those internal and external voices of authority that dictate what is possible, looked at your profile and made a definitive judgment. They saw your past setbacks, your moments of hesitation, and your periods of deep spiritual exhaustion, and they marked your file with a red stamp. Harmless. They archived you. They moved you to the basement of the agency where cold cases go to die. They assumed that because you weren't screaming in the streets or climbing their corporate ladders, you had finally been neutralized by the algorithm of mediocrity. This was their greatest tactical error. They mistook your silence for surrender. In reality, that silence was a deep cover operation. While they were busy monitoring the loud ones, the ones who craved the spotlight and the settlements of the world, you were in the evidence room of your own soul. You were quietly deconstructing the false documents they planted in your mind. Every witness who told you that you weren't good enough, every lawyer of doubt who argued that your dreams were legally unsound, was actually giving you the data you needed to dismantle their entire case against you. You weren't stuck. You were gathering intel. You were observing their patterns, learning how they use the news cycle of your emotions to keep you in a state of constant panic. Think of the elite as a group of arrogant board members who think they own the IP of your life. They sit in high-rise offices, your ego's constructs, sipping expensive lies, confident that you are still the same discarded asset from a decade ago. But then, a leaked report hits their desk. It shows that your vibration has shifted. It shows that you've been self-coding a new reality while they weren't looking. The panic in their Oval Office is palpable now. They are realizing that you've spent your underestimated years becoming a ghost in the machine. You know their protocols better than they do. You've seen the surveillance footage of your own history and realized it was all manipulated evidence. You were right to hide your project from those who only wanted to audit your spirit for weaknesses. The system relies on your self-doubt to keep its power grid running. But you've just pulled the plug. By realizing that your smallness was actually stealth, you've rendered their search algorithms useless. They are currently scrambling to reopen your case file, but they are finding that the data is encrypted with a level of self-love and inner authority that their supercomputers cannot crack. They tried to stop him now, or stop her now, by using old files of shame, but they found that the record has been expunged. The beauty of being underestimated is that you get to see the elite when they think no one is watching. You've seen their fragility. You've seen that the witnesses they brought against you were just paid actors of your own fears. This is the deconstruction phase. You are tearing down their media narrative. You are burning the classified reports that said you were limited. As you walk out of that archives room, you aren't the same person who walked in. You are the main character who has just realized that the antagonist has no bullets left in the gun. The trial of your life is moving into a new phase, and for the first time, the defense is absolutely terrified. Every moment you spent feeling lost was actually you wiping the hard drive of the old programming. You are now a clean slate with high-level authorization. The elite are staring at their monitors, watching a blank screen where your fear response used to be. They are realizing that you are no longer under their jurisdiction. You have moved the case to a higher court, the court of universal truth, where their lawyers have no standing. The silence you've kept isn't a sign of weakness, it's the sound of a system crash they never saw coming. There is a specific frequency to a secret that has been kept too long, a pressurized hum that eventually shatters the glass of the container. For years, the elite managed to keep your true potential under a non-disclosure agreement signed by your own fears. They kept the classified files of your strength locked in a subterranean vault, ensuring that the public record of your life remained small, manageable, and tragic. But the encryption has just failed. While you were doing the deep work in the shadows, you weren't just meditating, you were uploading. You were transferring the massive data file of your sovereign authority into the global mainframe of reality. Imagine the Oval Office of the status quo right now. The red phones are ringing off the hooks. The agency directors, those archetypes of control that represent your old limitations, are staring at a bank of monitors in total disbelief. Across every channel, on every news cycle of the universe, your new frequency is the only thing being broadcast. This is the leak. It is the whistleblower report that confirms the system has been lying about your worth for decades. The algorithm that was designed to suppress your signal has just been hijacked by the new truth. You have become a viral event in the spiritual economy. You were right to suspect that there was more to the story. The evidence is now surfacing in your daily life. Have you noticed the synchronicities exploding around you? Those aren't accidents. They are intercepted communications from a higher reality confirming that your new identity is now the official narrative. The elite are terrified because a leaked truth cannot be retracted. You can't unknow that you are the architect of your own timeline. You can't unsee the source code of the world once you've hacked into the mainframe. They are scrambling to issue damage control reports, trying to convince you that this is just a temporary glitch, but the market of your life has already shifted. Your vibration is the leaked intelligence that is crashing the currency of lack. People, your witnesses, your friends, your enemies, are starting to sense a shift in your optical signature. You look different. You speak with the authority of a chief executive who just discovered a massive accounting fraud in the company of their past. You are no longer reading from the script they provided. You are the headliner of a story that the media, the collective ego, tried to bury in the back pages. The most terrifying part for the elite is that this leak is decentralized. They can't raid the offices of your mind and take the data back. You've shared this frequency with the very fabric of existence. Every time you stand in your truth, you are retweeting the manifesto of the chosen. You are the live stream of a revolution that doesn't need a single weapon. Your presence is the evidence that the old guard has lost control of the narrative. They are watching you on their surveillance feeds, waiting for you to stumble, but all they see is a signal that is getting stronger, clearer, and more authoritative by the second. This is the moment in the movie where the protagonist walks into the lion's den, not with a bomb, but with a flash drive. You are slamming the truth on the desk and watching the power grid of the old world flicker and die. They thought they could keep you in perpetual maintenance, but you've just leaked the fact that the system is already bankrupt. The settlement they are going to offer you next, the breadcrumbs of your old life, will be laughable. You aren't looking for a payoff. You are here for the coronation that has been public record in the stars since the day you were born. The sirens you hear in the distance? Those aren't for you. Those are for the system you've just dismantled. In every high-stakes operation, there is a point of no return. The moment when the agency realizes that the asset hasn't just gone rogue, but has successfully seized the control codes. You have officially entered the panic phase. The elite, the voices of your past that told you to settle, the social structures that profited from your compliance, and the lawyers of the ego who argued you were unworthy, are currently in a state of total system failure. They are realizing that their injunctions against your happiness have been overruled by a higher court. Imagine the security briefing happening in the war room of your old reality. The directors are staring at a screen that shows your spiritual influence spreading across the map like an unstoppable digital virus. They tried to stop him now by cutting off your funding, your sense of hope, but it didn't work. They tried to stop her now by issuing restraining orders of guilt and shame, but you didn't even acknowledge the subpoena. The panic is setting in because they've realized you cannot be bought, you cannot be blackmailed, and you can no longer be neutralized by the news cycle of ordinary life. You have reached terminal velocity. Your phone is ringing off the hook, but not with the calls of bill collectors or the static of toxic exes. These are the synchronicities of a universe that is scrambling to align with your new executive order. Every random meeting, every chance opportunity, every unexpected breakthrough is a line of code being rewritten in your favor. The elite are in damage control mode, trying to offer you settlements of the old world, small wins, minor comforts, or the illusion of security, just to get you to drop the case. But you've seen the global ledger. You know exactly how much they owe you in emotional restitution and spiritual interest. The most terrifying thing for a corrupt institution is an individual who is radiantly calm while the world burns. While the elite are shouting into their phones and shredding documents of your past trauma, you are standing in the center of the stock exchange of your life, watching their currency crash to zero. Their algorithm of lack has been sanctioned by your abundance frequency. They are realizing that your intel is superior. You've discovered that the walls of their maximum security prison were just green screens and special effects. You've walked through the solid steel door and realized it was made of digital smoke. This is the application of your power. You aren't just thinking about a better life anymore. You are issuing mandates. You are freezing the assets of your self-doubt. You are seizing the narrative of your future. The panic you feel in the environment around you is actually the exhaust port of a dying system. It's the sound of a mainframe overheating because it wasn't designed to handle a user with your level of authorization. The elite are terrified because if you finish this protocol, the entire global narrative of what a human asset can achieve will be changed forever. They are looking for a backdoor into your mind, a way to hack your self-worth one last time. They might try to leak an old scandal from your past or send a double agent to distract you. But your encryption is now quantum level. You've moved beyond the binary of win or lose and into the state of being. As you watch the panic unfold from your high-level vantage point, remember that you are the one who unauthorized their control. The case is moving to the final verdict, and the elite are already looking for the exit signs. The doors have been bolted from the outside. The recorders are spinning in the shadows. The elite have finally decided that if they cannot ignore you or panic you into submission, they must confront you directly. You have reached the standoff. This is the moment in every high-stakes thriller where the protagonist is brought into a dimly lit room, facing a panel of directors who look like they've never blinked in their lives. These are the agencies of your past, the personified voices of every failure, every regret, and every social law that told you to be less than what you are. They've brought their best lawyers, and they've come prepared with a mountain of fabricated evidence to prove that you are still under their jurisdiction. They are trying to stop him now by serving you with a spiritual restraining order. They want to prevent you from getting too close to the truth. They are using surveillance footage from 10 years ago, replaying your weakest moments on the big screen, trying to convince you that the leak was a mistake and that you should return to your assigned sector. They are whispering about settlements. They are offering to give you back your old comforts if you just agree to cease and desist your transformation. But they've made one fatal assumption. They think you are still negotiating. They don't realize that you didn't come here to plead your case. You came here to read the verdict. Look at the witnesses they've called to testify against you. Notice how they all look like ghosts of your former self, people who doubted you, systems that exploited you, and the algorithm of comparison that tried to make you feel invisible. But when you look them in the eye, they flicker. They aren't real. They are just deep fakes created by a desperate elite who are terrified that you've discovered their offshore accounts of power. You hold the original documents. You have the leaked intelligence that proves they have no actual legal authority over your spirit. You are the one with the subpoena now. This is the stress test of your new identity. It's easy to feel powerful in the safe house of your own mind, but the standoff happens in the public square. It happens when the lawyers of the status quo try to trap you in an argument of lack. They will try to use the news cycle of your current challenges to make you believe that the revolution has failed. But as you stand there, in that high-pressure room, you realize something profound. The panic in their eyes is much louder than the evidence in their hands. They are sweating under the interrogation lights of your presence. Every time you refuse to confess to being small, their case falls apart. You are slamming the evidence on the table, the evidence of your resilience, the intelligence of your intuition, and the public record of your survival. You are telling the Oval Office of your reality that the game is over. You aren't interested in their settlement. You aren't scared of their surveillance. You've realized that the agency has been bankrupt for years, and they were just using your energy to keep the lights on. By standing your ground during this standoff, you are effectively decoupling your future from their dying narrative. The elite are scrambling for a legal loophole. They are trying to find a backdoor into your security clearance, hoping they can find one insecurity left to exploit. But your encryption is now absolute. You have authenticated your own worth. You are no longer a subject to be studied. You are the chief investigator who has just uncovered the greatest fraud in human history, the lie that you were ever ordinary. The standoff is nearing its end. The jury, the universe itself, is watching your every move, and they aren't looking at the lawyers. They are looking at you, waiting for the final closing argument that will change the public record forever. Stay in this room. Don't look for the exit until the verdict is signed. The elite are terrified because they know that once you walk out of this standoff, you won't be walking back into your old life. You'll be walking into the coronation they tried to steal from you. The case against your greatness is being dismissed with prejudice. The evidence is in, the witnesses have been discredited, and the algorithm of fate has been successfully overwritten by your sheer, unyielding presence. The air in the room has changed. The recycled pressurized oxygen of the interrogation room has been replaced by the scent of ozone and victory. The jury, the collective forces of the universe that have been watching your stress test, has returned to the box. The elite are sitting at their table, their expensive suits suddenly looking ill-fitting and frayed. Their lawyers of doubt have stopped checking their phones. They know the leaked intelligence was too strong. The evidence you slammed on the desk was irrefutable. The algorithm of control has officially reached a critical error and cannot be rebooted. The judge, the higher law of your own sovereignty, leans forward and delivers the words the agency has spent your entire life trying to suppress. Not guilty. You are no longer guilty of being ordinary. You are no longer under the jurisdiction of your past mistakes. You are no longer a subject to be monitored, manipulated, or managed. In one single stroke of the gavel, the public record of your life has been expunged of every criminal record of shame, every surveillance report of lack, and every injunction that kept you from your throne. This is the verdict. This is the high-stakes vindication you've been chasing through the dark alleys of your soul for years. The elite are terrified, but not in the way they were before. Their fear has matured into a forced respect. They realize that you aren't just a whistleblower anymore. You are the new presiding authority. They are watching the news cycle of your life and realizing that they can no longer spin the narrative. You have become uncancellable. You have become too big to fail. Like the final scene in a classic legal thriller where the small-town lawyer takes down the global conglomerate, you are standing on the courthouse steps, and the world, the entire world, is holding its breath to hear what you'll say next. But you don't say anything. You don't need to. Your presence is the broadcast. Your vibration is the leaked file that everyone is now downloading. You've moved from the surveillance to the coronation. The elite are currently clearing out their desks in the Oval Office of your reality. They are being liquidated. Their assets, the power they stole from your attention, are being returned to you with compounded interest. You are looking at the master archive of your future, and for the first time, it's not written in code. It's written in destiny. This is the transformation that the agency warned you about. They told you that if you leaked the truth, the world would fall apart. And they were right. Their world fell apart. But your world is just beginning. You are now the chief executive of your own timeline. You are the lead producer of a story that the whole world wants to buy the rights to. Your case is being taught in the intelligence academies of the spirit as the gold standard of how a single human asset can dismantle a global system of deceit. As you walk away from the courthouse, you notice that the surveillance cameras are still there, but they aren't tracking you to catch you in a lie. They are tracking you because they need to know where the power is going. You are the global protagonist. The algorithm has been hard-coded to prioritize your signal. The witnesses who once stood against you are now applying for jobs in your new kingdom. You've realized that the elite were never your jury, They were just extras in the movie of your grand awakening. The file is now closed. The evidence has been archived in the eternal records. You are free to go, but you aren't going back to where you started. You are heading to the safe house of your own absolute authority, where the news is always good, the market is always up, and the elite are nothing more than a footnote in your biography. You won the standoff. You survived the panic. You leaked the truth. And now, you are the only authority that matters in this jurisdiction. There is a terrifying moment in every high-level interrogation when the roles suddenly reverse, when the person behind the glass realizes they are the one being watched. You have just reached that point. For decades, the elite, the architects of your doubt, the engineers of your scarcity, and the agency of your old limitations, have sat in their high-rise offices, looking down at your file with a cold, detached sense of ownership. They thought they had you tagged. They thought your data profile was a closed loop of survival and silent compliance. But look at the screens now. The surveillance has been inverted. The panic in their war room isn't just a glitch, it is the sound of a total structural collapse. They are trying to stop him now, or stop her now, but the emergency brake has been snapped off. You are walking through the main lobby of the old reality, and for the first time, the security guards aren't asking for your ID. They are bowing. This is the verdict. The Supreme Court of the Universe has just handed down a ruling that is currently being broadcast on every news channel of your subconscious mind. The settlement they tried to offer you in Phase 4, that small, comfortable life designed to keep you quiet, has been rejected with prejudice. You aren't here for a deal. You are here for total restitution. As you stand in the center of the Oval Office of your own destiny, you can see the evidence of their fraud everywhere. They lied about your worth. They manipulated the algorithm of fate to make you believe you were a discarded asset. But the leaked files are out, the witnesses have confessed, and the public record has been permanently altered. The most chilling part for the elite is your absolute, unbreakable calm. While they are scrambling to shred the documents of your past trauma, while they are making desperate calls to shadow handlers who no longer pick up the phone, you are simply standing there, watching the currency of fear crash to zero. Their surveillance systems are trying to track your next move, but your frequency has moved beyond their bandwidth. You are no longer a variable in their equation. You are the constant. You have become the global protagonist they warned their children about, the one who couldn't be hacked, the one who couldn't be bought, and the one who survived the interrogation without breaking. This is your coronation. The weight you feel on your shoulders isn't the weight of responsibility or stress anymore. It is the weight of a crown that was hidden in plain sight. Every restraining order the world tried to place on your joy has been dissolved. Every blacklist you were placed on for being too real or too powerful has been burned. The agency directors, those inner voices of criticism and external figures of control, are being escorted out of the building in handcuffs. They are being charged with high treason against the soul. They are watching you take the executive seat, and for the first time in their long, dark history, they are the ones who feel invisible. The algorithm is now working for you. Have you noticed? The witnesses appearing in your life now are people of integrity, power, and high vibration. The surveillance is now a protective detail from the universe itself. The news cycle of your daily experience is no longer reporting on crashes and scandals. It is reporting on expansion and victory. The elite are terrified because your existence is the evidence that their entire security state was a lie. You didn't just escape the prison, you proved the prison was made of paper. As the sun sets on the old guard, you are signing the final executive order. You are declassifying your power. You are telling the world that the case is closed, but the legend is just beginning. You aren't going back to the safe house. You are building a new headquarters where the protocol is absolute freedom. The elite are looking for an exit strategy, but there is no exit from a reality that has been fully awakened. They are forced to watch as you turn the leaked info of your divinity into a global broadcast that everyone can hear. The trial is over. The jury didn't even need to deliberate. The evidence of your light was so overwhelming that the prosecution simply walked out of the room. You are standing on the balcony of your own life, looking out at a horizon that is no longer blocked by the walls of the system. The panic has subsided into a profound, heavy awe. They no longer fear what you might do, they are in awe of what you are. You have moved beyond vindication and into sovereignty. The Global Protagonist Protocol has reached its final objective. The asset is now the architect. The public record is now finalized, and your coronation is the lead story on every spiritual frequency in the universe. To see the classified footage of what happens next in your new life of absolute authority, click the video on the screen right now. The trial is over. The elite have left the building. Your story is now a legend that the algorithm can no longer ignore. Witness the final transmission.